What's up everybody? I'm Jono Escobar and this is my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to explain why getting a credit card may be the best decision that you could make while you're in your 20s or while you're in college, heck, while you're even in high school. Now, this channel is all about finances. So I'm going to be talking a lot about real estate, investing, credit cards, good debt, bad debt, how to increase your income through business, through sales, or through other side hustles, and also life wellness and just general life advice. Now, just a disclaimer. When it comes to getting a credit card, I never endorse getting a credit card, going into debt, buying things that you don't need, and carrying a balance on that credit card so that you accrue interest. Doing so is just financially irresponsible and it's just not very smart. The only exception to this is if you specifically get a credit card that has a 0% APR for a certain amount of time, whether that be 6 months to 20 months or 18 months. And you specifically keep the balance on that card so that you can invest that money that you would have spent out of your bank account elsewhere that will give you a higher return. Now, the first reason why you should definitely be getting a credit card is because of the cash back and the points. Most of the credit cards out there, and the only ones that I really recommend getting, are the ones that give you cash back. The reason why is because most every single card that is semi-good will be giving you at least 1% back on every single dollar that you spend. Now, that means that if you were to spend $1, you'd get 1 cent back. Or if you were to spend $100, you would get $1 back. Now, that's not very much money. But if you think about it, you spend $100,000, you're getting $1,000 back. Now, that's a pretty good chunk of change over the long run. Now, just to keep the perspective, every single year, the dollar is decreasing in value by 2%. This is what's called inflation. So by not getting a credit card, cash back, or points, really your dollars that you're investing or that are sitting in the bank are just losing value by 2% every single year. Most of the good credit cards that I recommend getting are 2% back, 3, 4, 5, even up to 10% cash back on all of your purchases. That means if you spend $1,000, you could get up to $100 back. Now, that's really good investments. And you'll be beating inflation by a long shot. Now, the opposite is that if you don't use a credit card, and you're just like, hey, Jono, I am totally anti-credit card, you're gonna be losing 2% every single year just by using your debit card or using cash. Now, I know there's some of you guys out there that are gonna say, oh, well, if you spend cash, then you actually spend less money because it hurts more. You give a $100 bill and it hurts more. But I'm going to argue this and say that really the only things you should be spending on are the things that are absolutely necessary for you to survive, like your utilities, your water, your food, and not going out and eating at expensive restaurants or anything like that. Being frugal, but really spending on the things that you really need and the things that are just going to provide more value in your life. If it's going to increase the effectivity of your life, then by all means go ahead and get it. For example, investing in a camera so you can shoot YouTube videos, like me. But the last reason is that most of the places that you're shopping at, grocery stores, restaurants, hotels, car rentals, anywhere that accepts a credit card or a debit card, they are paying, they're called merchants. Merchants pay anywhere from 1 to 3% fee just to accept a credit card. So that means if you come to me, let's say I'm Walmart, and you're coming and buying some groceries and you're buying $100. Out of that $100, I have to give 2% back to the credit card banks just so that I can accept your credit card, swipe it, and now I only have $98 out of the $100 that you spent. So, because of that, most of the restaurants actually jack up their prices by 1 to 2%, maybe even 3% to make up for those credit card fees. So, what would normally be $100 is now going to be $103 to make up for that credit card fee. just as a gist, you're losing money because you're spending more by not using a credit card, and you're not able to save more money and beat inflation by using credit cards and getting the cash back. Heck, it's free money, so why not take it? Now, in another video, I'm gonna actually explain all of the credit cards that I currently have, why I got them, some of the mistakes that I actually made, just because I didn't know, and I was learning in the credit card game, and the credit cards that I'm gonna be getting in the future that will help me maximize the most cash back and get the most rewards for my spending. But that'll be in a different video. Now, the reason why you don't want to accrue interest on a credit card is because banks know that a lot of people are kind of irresponsible. And so they know that most people will actually go out, get their credit card, max it out, only pay the minimum amount due, and then pay anywhere from 15 to 25% interest yearly on those credit cards. So, for example, you go out and get a credit card that has a $5,000 limit on it. You go out and spend on some couches, new iPhone, iPad, TV, and you max it out. So you spent $5,000 on all these things. And the minimum payment is only $100. And so now you're at $4,900 left on your credit card. Now, if you do the math on that, if you pay 25% interest on a $4,900 balance, let's just say that it's $5,000 just to make the numbers easy. So $5,000 times 0.25, or that's 25%, equals $1,250 in a year. Divide that by 12 months, and you're going to be paying $104 every single month that you have that credit card balance outstanding. So you have $5,000 in your credit card, you're going to be paying $104.16 every single month to the bank. Now, this is not responsible, this is not smart. Don't ever fall into this scam, because the banks know that some people will just really need the money really quick, and this is not a way to do it. Now, there are certain ways that you can take advantage of credit cards, even pay these high interest rates and have it still be worth it. There are very small cases in which you can do that. So, rule of thumb, don't ever carry a balance. Pay it off to zero every single month so you do not accrue any interest charges. So you're not paying $104 every single month to the bank just to use their money. If you are irresponsible, then maybe a debit card would be best, or going cash would be best, just to make sure that you're not spending money that you don't have. Reason number 2 is cash flow management. When you have a credit card and multiple credit cards, you're able to separate the spending on the different cards so you can see exactly what you're spending on, which categories you're spending on, and where you can kind of budget in those budgets, and where you need to be, the vision in each category. So, for example, you can have one card for gas. Costco credit card is a great one for that. Then you could have another one for dining. Some travel cards are great at having 3-4% back on restaurants and dining. Then there's other ones for travel. You can get 3 to 5% back on travels when you're doing hotels, flights, rental cars, or anything that has to do with travel or transportation. And maybe you have another category of just miscellaneous stuff. And you can have different credit cards for each one of these categories, and you can see exactly at the end of each month or at the end of each year how much you spent in a specific category, and whether you were under the budget or over the budget, where you can cut back. And also keep in mind that you're getting cash back in these specific categories, most likely more than 2%. Now, for anybody who has a business, who's the owner of a business, or you have a side hustle, whether you're an Uber driver, you sell things on the side, you're a couch flipper, or you just make YouTube videos playing with dolls, that's not considered a W-2 income. That's going to be 1099 or self-employed income. That basically means that you're an independent contractor, and that your expenses that you use for your business are going to be separate from your personal expenses. Now, the government likes to team up with us, and they say whatever you spend on your business, you're growing the economy. You're growing a business that will bring more revenue, have people spend more money, and so that we can tax them on it. So they actually partner with you and say any business expenses that you spend on your business, certain expenses I should say, are tax deductible. Meaning that if you made $50,000 and you have $30,000 in expenses, you're only taxed on $20,000. Now that's a great way to save money. And you have personal expenses that are not business expenses. So whatever you spend on that, you're going to be taxed on. And the last part of the cash flow management is that really it's just a 30-day loan, interest-free. I don't know of any credit card out there that will start accruing interest on day one that you swipe your card. Most of the time it's 30, even 60 days of the bank's money that you can use on that credit card, and they give you 60 days to pay them back with 0% interest. Now think about if you were to combine that with investing in the stock market, for example, or investing in something that you can get a quick return from your money and get it back so you can pay back the bank and not have to pay interest. So let's say that you were to go into the stock market and gain 5% interest or a 5% gain on a stock that you trade over a period of 30 to 60 days, which is not that hard. I mean, 5%, you can get a 5% gain on a stock in an hour. You just need to find the right stock, but you're also introducing risk into the equation. Now, I'm gonna make another video in the future about how to invest in the stock market very conservatively, but that increases your chances significantly on always getting a gain. Now, you're always gonna lose some, you're always gonna gain some, but we'll leave that for a different video. But let's just say that you get 5% in 30, even 60 days. That's going to be another 5% on top of the cash back that you're getting from these category spends. So 2 to 5% back on your credit card that you just swipe and you get 5% back, 2% back. And then you go and use that money that you would have spent from your bank account onto the credit card, take that money from the bank account, invest it into the stock market, get 5%, and now you're getting 5 plus 2 to 5. So you're getting from 7 to 10% back on the money that you would have just spent on your debit card or your cash, going straight to the merchant, out of your pocket, and never to be seen again. And obviously, if you're a sophisticated investor and you know how to play the stock market very well, then these numbers can be even greater. The third reason is protection. Now, when you use a credit card, you're using the bank's money. When you use a debit card, you're using your own money. So when you use your debit card, you're using the straight cash that you deposited into the bank. So if somebody comes and steals your debit card, so let's say you have $10,000 in your bank account, swipes all of it, buys a new car, or buys something worth $10,000, and now you have $0 in your bank account. Now you can go and get fraud protection, but it's going to take at least a week to get that money back, because the bank is fighting for money that's not theirs. It's yours. But if you have a credit card, you're spending the bank's money, somebody else steals their money, they're going to be very quick to go and get their money back. So somebody steals my credit card from Chase and they go and spend $10,000 on it. I report it to Chase and I say, hey, I didn't spend this $10,000 on whatever. This is fraudulent. They cancel the card, they give me a new one with a new number, and they go and work it out with somebody else. And I still have my $10,000 in my bank account. So I'm completely protected in that aspect. Also with a credit card, most credit cards have a function to where you can go into their app. For example, Chase has a function in their app where you open it up, you go and click on the credit card that you want to select, and you can lock the card so that nobody can make purchases on it. So if somebody steals your card, you lock it, and they go and spend on something, it's going to be declined every single time. That's another way to protect your finances, or even the bank's money, just so you don't have to deal with a headache of trying to get their money back. Another perk that some credit cards have is a return policy protection. Basically what this means is that if you go and buy a product from a store and you try to return it and for some reason they don't allow you to return the product back, then some credit cards will actually tell you to go and return the product, and the credit card will credit it back to your account in place of the store. So the store doesn't return the product, but the credit card does give you that protection. And then the last type of protection is the warranty protection. Some credit cards will have this on their credit card to where if you buy a product that has a specific warranty for, let's say, a year, then the credit card will come in and say, don't buy any insurance on the product, but we will take the year warranty on that product and double it to 2 years. Or if it's 1.5 years, they'll double it to up to 3 years on that warranty. So if your MacBook Pro decides to break down or has some type of error inside of the system, manufacturer warranty, and it's past that year mark, then the credit card will come in and double it and add an additional year, or just double it until the maximum 3-year warranty, and you can get that completely replaced and fixed so that you have a working MacBook up to 3 years. But that's another great protection that you can have with a credit card that is completely free, no additional charge. And the fourth reason is basically just in addition to the protections and cool perks, but they're really just credit card perks. Just to give you an idea, on the credit card that I have, for example, here are all the benefits. So there's up to 5% cash back, 2% cash back, 1% cash back, no annual fee on some cards. Some credit cards do have an annual fee. Fraud protection, fraud alerts, purchase protection, zero liability protection, extended warranty protection that we already talked about in the last reason, employee cards at no additional cost, auto rental collision damage waiver, travel and emergency assistance, travel accident insurance, baggage delay insurance, roadside dispatch, lost luggage reimbursement, automatic alert, account alerts, paperless, chip enabled, enhanced security, 5% on Lyft rides through, some people have specific promotions for certain merchants. So Lyft, Uber Eats, different merchants and restaurants that you can get perks from. Additionally to all of these, some banks will even have special offers. So for example, Chase has Chase offers, Wells Fargo has Wells Fargo offers. And what these are is they just have specific restaurants, for example, Costa Vida, Pizza Hut, DirecTV, different companies that you can get up to 10 to 20% back up to a certain dollar amount. For example, Pizza Hut had one just the other day where it's 20% back up to $40. So you spend $40 at Pizza Hut and you get $8 back. It's pretty much just like a coupon, but these are great ways to maximize the benefits of credit cards that banks just want to give to you for free. So if you can combine coupons regularly at Pizza Hut plus the additional 20%, you can get up to 40% off food, for example. And those are the great perks that credit cards give, that they want to give to the consumers so they can earn our business. So by the end of this video, you should already see by now that it's just a no-brainer to use credit cards rather than debit cards if you use them responsibly. If you're not going to use these responsibly, then they really aren't a big benefit if you're going to be paying interest to get 25% interest paid to the bank, so you can only get 5 to 10, 20% back. It's just not a good deal. But if you are going to use these credit cards responsibly, pay them off after every single month, zero balance, or strategically use them so that you do not pay any interest, then these can be a great way to beat inflation, to get extra money, and to travel completely free. And I will do a different video on how you can maximize these rewards and travel the world for absolutely free and never pay a dime in flights ever again or hotels ever again. Now, just to recap, there are 4 main reasons why you should use a credit card over a debit card or cash. Reason number 1 is the cash back and rewards / points. Every single time that you swipe your card, you can get money back. Reason number 2 is cash flow management, the ability to be able to see where you're spending and to maximize the cash back that you get from certain categories. The third is the protection that you get from these credit cards. Really, the bank is just offering you protection so that you don't have to pay out of pocket, out of your own money, if somebody steals or has theft or something breaks. These are great protection that you can get from the banks and the credit cards. And the fourth is just all the extra perks that each individual card will have. And that's up to you to go and find out which card is the best for you in your situation. Maybe you want specific protections because you travel a lot. Or maybe you just want protection because you buy products and you want an extended warranty on them. Whatever the case, credit cards can be your best friend to give you protection, give you extra cash, to beat inflation, and really just to travel the world for free. So if you liked this video and you saw value in the content that I brought to you, smash that like button and subscribe down below. Hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any of my videos coming up and that you can see every single video exactly when I come out with them. So that is the entire reason why you should get credit cards over cash or debit cards. I hope that you were able to see why credit cards can be such a great tool and how the wealthy use them, take advantage of the banks so that they can get one step closer to that financial independence. That's it for today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.